Hi, I wanted to give an overview for parents and developing players at the club and high school level, a quick overview of how to read the soccer game. Coaches talk about reading the game, understanding and now analyzing in real time what's really going on, and I think it's a skill that you build with experience. It's important, for your own matches when you're on the bench waiting to go in, or when you're attending a college or a pro match. Being able to read the game and understand what the teams are trying to do overall, and then in turn, what the individual players are trying to do, and how those things work back and forth as far as the individual uh, tactics and instructions, and how that plays into the larger team strategy of trying to win the game. So I want part one of this. I want to talk about just when you go up and you walk up to a game in progress, just trying to read and understand. Okay, first of all, what formation or shape or system the teams are in. Right now, this is set up with, I'll use yellow as the primary team, which is attacking the top of the board. And just a quick overview of numbering systems. What you're seeing here is two teams in a standard 4-3-3 formation. When we talk about formations, you talk about the back line going up to the front line. So you've got your back line of three central midfielders, and then a front three, okay? You don't have to mention the goalkeeper because everybody knows there's going to be one goalkeeper. So the other numbers, those three numbers, sometimes there are four numbers, are going to add up to 10. So 4 plus 3 plus 3, you've got your 10 field players. This is what we would call a standard 4-3-3. And in that, each position has a number. Coaches will talk about these numbers as a shorthand for quickly communicating who they're talking about. So, the right wing back is going to be the 2, the center backs are 4 and 5, left back 3, your primary defensive midfielder is the 6, box-to-box midfielder 8, central attacking midfielder or cam or playmaker is your 10, left wing is 11, right wing is 7, and your striker is your number 9, okay? And often the jersey numbers correspond to that. You'll see a true striker will probably have number 9 on his back. Your best player, your Pele, your playmaker will have number 10 on his back. Doesn't always work that way, especially in, high school club where some people are wearing 67 or what have you. But sometimes that's the way it works. And goalkeepers, of course, usually 1 or 0. So anyway, that's just a quick overview of that, the numbering system. When you walk up, you look and you see the first thing that the easy things to do, okay, are first to count how many defenders or how many players there are in the back line for a team, and then how many attackers are in the front line for a team, okay? So you walk up, you see, okay, they look like they're in a back 4, and they look like they've got 3 up top. Okay, so it's a 4 and it's a 3. I've got 3 positions left, so probably 3 in the middle, 4-3-3. So 4-3-3 is the most common, I think, right now. Within that, there are a lot of variations to 4-3-3. 4-3-3 is a classic system that, the Netherlands used to use it, Barca use it. It kind of covers everything. And I don't want to talk about it really in this video, but, attacking principles, you want to maximize space when you have the ball. So you're looking for a good formation or system wants to maximize both your height and your width, and 4-3-3 does that because it gives a nice structure. It gives you 2 flank players, and it gives you 3 players in the center of the park, who are often usually a team's best overall players. So 4-3-3 has a lot of variations, but if you're just getting into soccer, football, you can see a back line of 4, a front line of 3, and then you've got 3 in the center, and then you get into variations like Maybe it's more of a 4-2-3-1, okay, 4-2-3-1. Maybe it's just 1-6 and then 2 cams, and now you're in a 4-1-4-1. Maybe these guys play a little bit lower. Maybe it's more of a counterattacking team, and now you're maybe in more of a 4-5-1. You get these little variations, but they're basically variations of a 4-3-3, okay? So 4-3-3 is very common. The other thing you would be looking at is maybe, this is often easy to tell, if they're not 4 defenders, okay, then maybe they are in a back 3, and then you get into, here would be a 3-4-3. More commonly, you're probably going to have, if it's a 3-back, you're probably going to have 2 forwards up top. So now you're in a 3-5-2, 3-5-2, and those have a lot of little variations these days where, maybe these guys are pushing a little higher and these are a little deeper, and maybe you would call this a 3-4-1-2, or some teams now, I think Chelsea, some others will often feature a 3-4-2-1, okay? But those are variations of a 3-5-2. So 4-3-3 is a main system, 3-5-2 is a main system. You might see, if going back to a 4-back, you can see a couple of other configurations. If they have a back 4, but 2 forwards, okay, so we're 4 plus 2, we got 4 players left. You can either see a 4-4-2 with a diamond midfield, okay, 4-4-2. That's called a 4-4-2 diamond, where they're going to overload the center of the park with 4 central midfielders versus a common 3. Or also rare is a 4-4-2-2-2 or 4-2-2-2 magic hexagon. I've done a video on this system, which has been used by some teams over the years, and I think Manchester United tried to use it a little bit before they flamed out spectacularly. But I do like this system actually in some circumstances for club players, especially if your personnel aren't well suited to a 4-3-3. So finally, one thing I want to note is don't get caught up in the actual formation. This is just a tool to help you read, okay, what's the basic shape this team is going for? But then within that, understand that it's soccer, it's fluid. Shapes change over the game. So that may be your default, but it's going to look differently. It's going to look different depending on when you have the ball versus when you don't and when you're defending. So in attack, if yellow is able to build up, okay, and get the ball higher up the field, then often with that you'll see, as yellow pushes up the field here, a good team, their wingbacks should be joining the attack to get higher up the field and create overloads. And as that happens, these other players are going to get compact and get up the field. And so maybe in this situation, you've got what was a 4-3-3. If they've been able to keep the ball for a bit going up the field, now they're almost in a 2-2-2-4 or something. But then by contrast, if red is having a good spell of possession on them and they've got to drop back because red's doing a good job keeping the ball well, okay, then in this situation, what should happen is that as these guys get higher up, then yellow has to drop into, you often see teams organizing in two lines of four. And so now in defense, yellow is now in a 4-4-1-1, and they're keeping one player with some support up high to try to get out and counter when they win the ball back. And different teams will do this differently. Some teams will keep two up and then maybe, try to defend in a 4-4-2, or some teams will actually keep three up and maybe try to defend in a 4-3-3. But what's important to remember is that the formation and the system is starting, but soccer is fluid. It's really going to be about how the players are organized and know how to move together as a unit, and what shapes they're in and what roles each player is filling in both attacking and defense. So that is a quick introduction to formations and shape. But what is important when you rock up to a match and you're looking to figure out, okay, what's going on, what are their tactical goals here, that it's good to identify. Your quick cues are how many are in their back line, how many center backs in particular, because if they've got two center backs, it's probably a back four, whereas if they've got three center backs, it's probably back three, or it can become a back five in defense. But identify how many center backs they have, identify how many strikers they have, and then you can kind of fill in from there and then maybe guess what shape the midfield is in. So those are just some quick cues to figure that out. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.